Installing an automatic coop door is one of the best things you can do to increase your flock security and to get you a bit of a lie-in as well. Today we're going to do an in-depth review of the Omlet Autodoor.
Welcome to English Country Life. My name's Fiona. This is the Omlet Autodoor. Now, the wonderful people at Omlet gave this to us free of charge. However, they have not asked us to give a positive review, so this is going to be a very honest assessment of this door and how it works. And what we're going to do is we're going to cover it in 3 separate parts. Part 1 is going to be going through how it actually works and what facilities it has, because it's got some really good features. Second part, we're going to be showing how it can be retrofitted to an existing coop, and Hugh's done all that work. He's the real genius behind this, and as you can see, fits beautifully. And then part 3, we're going to be talking about what we like and areas where we think there could be some improvements. So let's get started.
Okay, first things first, let's go over the basics of the Autodoor, the kind of questions that you're likely to want to know the answer to decide if this is the right unit for you. One of the first things that occurred to me is, well, it's a side-to-side door. Is that a good thing? Most of my coops have got up and down pop holes. Well, side-to-side door is great on a low coop like this because there isn't actually room for an up and down pop hole, and that's why I fitted it to this particular coop. But will it fit all the coops we've got with a vertical pop hole? Well, only one way to find out. Let's go and have a look. So is this unit only suitable for coops with a side-to-side door? Let's have a look. Nope, it would fit absolutely fine on this coop. Loads of room to fit it on this one. Absolutely perfect for this unit. Fine on this one. I thought this would be the problem coop because I cut a massive pop hole in this with the intention that for mature Orpington cockerels who are big birds, it would be fine for them. I've seen mature Orpington cockerels go in and out of all our other coops. They don't need a pop hole that big, but I thought it would be a problem. It just isn't. It would cover a little bit of the existing opening even when open, so the entrance would be narrower, but it would work absolutely fine. It would work on any of our coops. The next thing to know, I think, with an Omlet Autodoor is that you get both the control unit and the door and the runners. So it comes as a complete unit. With vertical Autodoors, you can often buy just the control unit and motor and use that with your existing pop hole. The Omlet Autodoor, it's a complete assembly. It has to be, because it's a driven door. The door drives shut and drives open again because there's no gravity to help it do that. So you need to have an integral unit. But there are some advantages of having a driven geared door. Let's take a look at that. One thing I would like to show you is that this door, when shut, is really secure. I can't move it. No fox is going to get in that. Because the door is driven on gears and it has to be driven closed and driven open, once it's in position, it's locked in position. If you use one of the normal auto openers that works with your traditional pop hole, when the pop hole is down, if a fox can get his nose under it, it can lift the pop hole. It's not going to happen with this. It's a driven motor, and when it's in place, it is genuinely locked in place. The other thing I think is worth considering is, what are your options when you're configuring this unit? It can, if you wish, open it purely manually just by pressing and holding one button, and close it as well. Very simply, same button. If it's in the open position and you press and hold, it'll close. If it's in the closed position, it'll open. You can also configure the unit to operate on daylight. So as it gets dark, it'll close the door When it becomes light in the morning, it will open the door. And you can configure the settings of that to work exactly the way you want to. If you want it not to close until it's fully pitch dark, you can work on that. The last thing is, it's got an internal clock. So if you choose to, you can say open at a certain time and close at a certain time. And that for me is very important, because if you see in this video, we've got cockerels, and in the height of summer those cockerels can come out if you're on a daylight setting at 4 AM and start to crow. And as much as I like our cockerels, I'd rather they didn't do that, and I'm sure the neighbours would rather that they didn't do that. So having the ability to go on timer is very important. So you have three options here: manual, timer, or light sensitive. The last thing to consider is the power and any other options. How is it powered? 4 AA batteries. I like systems that run on AA's because we always run the rechargeable AA's, which we find very good quality, and they keep the cost down. But I want it to be battery powered because I want to be able to move the coops around to wherever I want to. This unit also has some options which are quite interesting. It can take an external 12-volt power feed if you want it to. It can also control an internal coop light if that is your thing, and it even has a fitting for a coop heater. So that control unit can do an awful lot beyond just control the door. In order to install the Omlet Autodoor, clearly you're going to have to remove whatever fittings are already in place. Now, I've built a number of these prefabricated wooden coops that we used to use, and in almost every case those kind of runners are just held in place with a few wood screws, and occasionally they might be held on with a little dab of wood glue that's easy enough to break free. Now, having done that, what I did want to do was use a bit of sandpaper and rub down the surface finish, wipe it over with some white spirit, and then top up what we use is cuprinol wood stain. You might use paint, just to ensure that it looks tidy once the Autodoor's in place. Having done our prep work, let's unpack the Autodoor. There's a little bit of assembly required, but not much. This is the control unit that decides how and when the door opens and closes. There's obviously the door itself and the runners, and then in this cardboard sleeve you've got 2 plastic bags. One full of lots of fastenings for different types of coops, and a smaller one contains gears. There's also 2 plastic brackets. Don't be intimidated, it goes together really easily and there's great instructions. Let's do the gears first. What you have to do to fit the gears is take out a couple of little grub screws on the frame assembly. Then the metal gear just pushes straight in place there, and we hold it in place with a small plastic assembly. And then it's just a matter of put the whole lot back together with the grub screws. The door has teeth on the back, and those will interlock with that metal gear that we just fitted. So drop the door in place and those teeth lock into the gears, and that's what causes it to drive and hold it in place. Once we've done that, we'll turn the whole assembly over, and we'll use those 2 plastic brackets that we saw earlier, and those plastic brackets will hold the door on the frame assembly. There's 2 holes in the door, and there's a corresponding set of holes in the bracket, and that's the case at the top and the bottom. Push the bracket in place, secure with 2 grub screws at the top and 2 grub screws at the bottom, and they just go in, as almost everything does on this coop, with a simple crosshead screwdriver. Very simple. And once all that's done, your unit is fully assembled. The door's locked, it can't fall out, and it will only move with a motor. One important thing to notice is this side has a pressure switch. That's a safety device to make sure a chicken can't be crushed between the door and the frame. You've got to install the frame properly to make sure that works. We'll show you that next. It's very easy to fit the unit to a wooden coop. There are 4 bolt holes in the units, and you just put it in, ensuring that it overlaps that edge of the pop hole by at least 5mm. That's for the pressure switch. So all I've done, clamp it in the right place. I'm using a pencil to mark where I want the bolt holes to be. And the instructions tell you even what size drill bit to use to drill the holes, because you're going to actually bolt this right through the frame of the coupe. They are supplied stainless steel bolts, and with the right size holes they slip easily and comfortably in place. And as you can see on the back of the unit, there are big square solid washers to hold it in place, along with butterfly nails. Now they supply 4 long and 4 short bolts. I didn't realise to start with. Make sure you use the right length for your coupe. With the auto door in place, we need to connect the control unit, and that's simplicity itself. It takes 4 AA batteries that clip in place in the usual spring-loaded way, and then we need to join the cable from the door to the unit. It has a plug on the end with a little clip, and there is one particular socket neatly marked door in the unit. So you push the plug into that, it'll only go one way up with a clip on top, push it in till the clip grips. Then what we need to do for security is cable grip that in place. So you line the cable up with the rubber grommets, and then there is a white plastic cable grip with 3 grub screws that will hold that firmly in place. Bracket comes and it's got 3 wood screws to attach it. The control unit simply clips onto the bracket. Got a closing door, and then what we will do is tidy up these cables with some cable ties and bolts. With that done, what I'm going to do is just test that the unit is functioning correctly by holding down the manual close button. We've run the unit for a few days now just to check all the functions. Does it work on timer? Does it work on light sensitivity? Is it okay on manual? It's worked flawlessly throughout. So it's time to give you some conclusions, isn't it? I'm going to say 3 things that I really like about the unit and 3 things which aren't really complaints, but they're more areas that I think if they ever launched a 2.0, I think there would be small improvements just from a user point of view. So on the plus side, beautifully engineered, went together really easily, super easy to fit, down to the point of when I needed shorter bolts, they were even there in the pack. You can fit it to a wire run, you can fit it to an Omlet coupe, you can fit it to a wooden coupe, and there are fixing packs available to do that. It's so well thought through and well made, so that's definitely point number 1. Point number 2 is it fitted every single one of our 8 coupes, which are different sizes, different designs, different makes. It'll fit anything, and I was quite prejudiced against horizontal sliding doors, and I think I was a vertical pop hole man. But you know what? I've come around to this. This will fit coupes that vertical pop holes won't fit, and it'll fit every coupe that I've got that's got a vertical pop hole. So, you know, you can't argue with facts, can you? Third point, I think, is I like the geared notion of the door, so that when that door shuts, the cog inside holds the door shut and no predator can nose it open. And you're buying this thing partly at least for the security of your flock. And because it's a geared door, it's really adding something to that security. 3 small improvements. 2 of them contain sort of comments about batteries. So it runs on 4 AA batteries. Great. Want it on battery so I can put the coupe anywhere. Love AA's because they're universally available, relatively cheap, and I can use rechargeables. So that's all positive. To change the batteries, there are 4 screws under here. They're small, they're fiddly, and I fear losing them in the grass. I would like them to be made captive so that you undo them a few turns, but they don't fall out of the unit. It's a tiny thing, but I can see it happening. Another thing on battery I really love is to have an external light that warns me when the battery is low. I've seen it on other devices, and I think that would be really useful. We've got 8 coupes here, and yes, absolutely, I can go into the menu structure, I can check the battery level, but something that proactively warns me that coupe number 4 has got a low battery by showing me a red LED when I come by and clean it out in the morning, that would be really, really helpful. Because of the geared nature of that door, if the battery does fail, it's not going to be easy to open it and let your chickens out. So I think, you know, proactive battery management would be very, very useful. The third thing is a little bit obscure, but stay with me. You can run it on timer. You can run it on light sensitivity. What you can't do is have it open on one and close on the other. And I would really like to see that, and let me explain why. When we have big cockerels, in the summer months, the sun would open the door about 4:30 in the morning. And I don't want cockerels out crowing at 4:30 in the morning. Our neighbours are lovely and I don't want to upset them. So I want the door to open on timer at 7 AM or so. But because the days get longer and shorter, having it close on light sensitivity is also really useful. So I would like the ability to mix and match the two sets of, you know, have open on one setting, close on the other. That would be really helpful. None of these are deal breakers. They're small suggestions where I think that a 2.0 unit could be even better than the very, very good unit that we've already got here. And I do like them, and I'm almost certainly going to fit more to other Coops that we've got.
You might be wondering what's happened to our lovely free range area for the chickens. Well, we're in lockdown in the UK at the time of filming. Most of this film was taken before lockdown started, and that's to combat the risk of avian influenza. So to keep our chickens safe, we're now in a fully netted enclosure. We've decided though that we love the Omlet Autodoor so much it is going to be part of our winter arrangement. So down the far end we've got a coop that's extremely large with Buff Orpingtons, and then this coop is housing our crested cream leg bars and Welsummers, and the Omlet Autodoor is keeping them safe. Now the fantastic people at Omlet have given 10% off to all of our subscribers. Just use the code ECL10 and link to the Omlet website down below in the description to grab that discount. Now it's not just off the Autodoor, it's off everything on their website, and it's valid to the 31st of December 21, and it's open to all UK, US, ERA and Australian residents. So as I say, ECL10 at checkout, and use the link in the description down below to head on over to Omlet.
That's our review of the Omlet Autodoor. It's really well made, it's easy to fit, we like it very much indeed. If you've enjoyed today's review, can you spare us 5 seconds and give us a thumbs up down below? If you'd like to see more reviews, for example, would you like to see us compare the 3 leading auto doors and show you the pros and cons of each? Or is there other things you'd like to see? Small holding tools, chicken feeders, coops, whatever you would like. If you'd like to see that sort of thing, let us know in the comments what you'd like to see and we'll try and make those videos for you. If you want to see that and everything else we make on chicken keeping, small holding, self-reliance, just whack on the subscribe button. If you aren't already with us on the channel, hit the bell next to it. You'll hit every time we upload a new video. But whatever you do, come back and see us soon. Take care.